What's up, people? As the title and the thumbnail suggests, we're going to talk about how my dealership missed out on a $55,000 profit. All right, so somebody asked me today through one of the comments on our YouTube channel, how much did the dealership offer you for your Trackhawk? And I've said it a couple times already, but I never did a video on the experience that day. Now, mind you, let me put this in place. I actually love this dealership, and my salesman who sold us the Wagoneer and my former salesman with the Trackhawk, great guys. All right, it's a really good dealership, and I do recommend them. They're Chapman, Horsham, up in Horsham, PA. They have a wide selection of vehicles. They're a huge dealership, and you can get really good deals there. However, on this one occasion, they screwed up royally. So I hope they're watching, and maybe next time they won't be so quick to lowball somebody with such a nice vehicle. Now, I had had the itch to sell the Hawk for a minute. I'd been talking about it for over a year and a half. Those of you that have been following me the longest know that I've been wanting to get out of it and get into a Rubicon to start doing something that I used to do prior to the 7 years that you all knew me in the performance world. Now, on a side note, never claimed to be a professional racer. I don't know where some of that nonsense came from. It was a hobby that I picked up back in the 80s. I'm dating myself here. When I got my license and some of the vehicles. We used to go down there just for fun. It's always been a fun hobby, just like fishing. I love to fish, but I'm also not a guy on the deadliest catch. So, I wanted to get back to my roots. I wanted to get an off-road vehicle, and I wanted to modify one, and here we are. So I took my vehicle, along with the Mrs. vehicle, to Chapman Jeep Dodge up in Horsham, PA, to have it appraised. Now, I knew what the Kelley Blue Book said, even with all the modifications that I'd done to it. And we did a lot of modifications. I estimate somewhere in the $30,000 range of modifications. $21,000 just for a brand new motor. The motor only had 6,000 miles on it. A built transfer case, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to go into everything. Somebody's flying down here. And the Kelley Blue Book, guy just ran the light, knucklehead. All right, so the Kelley Blue Book for that vehicle, heavily modified, was between $72,000 and $75,000. It was very well kept, so I estimated in the high, heavily modified range around 75 grand, especially in today's market. So I'm like, all right, I could get 75 for it at a dealership. Now, mind you, Chapman gave me a great offer on a modified used SRT when I traded in the Pro-Charged SRT. So I figured I would get a great offer again. Nope. They offered me $45,000 for my Trackhawk. $45,000. That's the same offer they gave me for the SRT. Now, for the SRT, at the time, Kelley Blue Book, that's what it was worth. Private sale, I think it was saying it was in the low 51 range, if you could probably get someone to buy it, but 45 was actually a good offer for the 2015 Pro-Charged SRT that I got. I can't believe that they offered me the same amount for the Trackhawk. So, obviously, we didn't take that offer. We knew it was worth a lot more. We went that day, literally, I was shocked that it was going to sell so low, or trade-in value so low. We talked about how we're not going to sell it now. I was a little dejected over the offer. And after the missus picked up the Wagoneer, I figured, well, we got a new vehicle for the household. We got rid of the Durango. The itch would go away. Well, it didn't. And then a couple weeks later, we were out up in Langhorne, PA, driving by this farm, and she was in the Wagoneer behind me. I was in the Hawk in front of her. There were a lot of people on the side of the road going to this event. I opened it up. Everyone snapped their head to look at me. I took it as they were like, oh, wow, that's cool. She took it as, wow, look at this idiot. And our discussion kind of went like this. He was like, people think your car sucks. And I went, no, not everybody. She's like, no, it's obnoxious. It's so loud. And I agreed, but I kind of said to her in jest, I said, You want me to sell it? She goes, you'll never sell it. No, I don't want you to sell it. She did not want me to sell the Trackhawk. I pushed it. It was like an out for me to finally get into this. And I said, no, I'm going to sell it. Watch. You watch. She's like, yeah, whatever. And she told me again, she goes, I don't want you to sell it. She didn't want to get rid of it. I went home. I went on Facebook Marketplace. I put up the pictures. I put up a walk around video. And instead of listing it for 75, I pushed it up to 95,000, figuring if I got an offer for that, I would immediately sell. If I didn't, I would have an excuse to say, look, I tried to sell it, nobody's going to buy it. And number two, that I would have a reason to not get rid of it and stay in it for a little bit longer. It was kind of like forcing myself to get rid of this itch to go off-roading again. That didn't happen. I got an offer immediately for $95,000 from this guy Dave down in Alabama. Awesome dude. He has a 21 Hawk that he wants to keep stock. He had an 18 that he modified, that he used to race, that he had a shop. He had Demon Performance modify it. I saw pictures of it. I verified this with Demon. Basically, the sale went through. And I started thinking about the dealership and what a blunder. How would you offer somebody $45,000 for a Trackhawk in that type of condition, with those type of modifications, in this type of market, knowing full well you're going to get more than 45 for it? Even if you got 50, or let's say 55, that's still on the low end. Let's say if you got Kelly Blue Book, you would have profited. Kelly Blue Book, you would have made $30,000. But instead, they missed out on a $55,000 profit. Give or take some coin, because, you know, they have to do some, the listing fee, and so we'll knock another 5 off that. So they literally missed out on $50,000. I'm happy as hell. I still love the dealership. I will continue to buy cars from them. But somebody asked me the question, you know, what did they offer you and what was the outcome? So I figured I'd talk about it. So, guys, listen, the next time somebody rolls into the dealership with a heavily modified, well-kept Hawk in this market, don't be so quick to lowball them. You've really missed out on such a great profit. Oh, imagine if just somebody at the dealership said, hey, listen, I know the dealership won't offer you 45. I'll buy it for 75, because I sold it for 95. But what I haven't talked about is the day I got the check, literally the day I got the check in the mail, there was a who crashed his, I knew from Team Trackhawk, our Facebook group, who reached out to me and made an offer for 100 grand right off the bat. Yo, I need a Hawk. I want yours, 100 grand. I said, no, I already made a deal. He went 105. I went, no, I already made the deal. I already have the money in hand. I cannot back out of this. So it went up to 105 for me. There were a couple other offers that offered me over 100 after I made the deal. And I'm not kicking myself in the ass. That's just the way life works. But could you imagine if somebody there was keen enough to jump on this vehicle and buy it for the 75 I was looking for? Or I probably would have went for 70, honestly. I had the itch so bad to get out of it. I probably would have sold it for 70. Oh, that's gotta hurt. But hindsight's always 20/20, you know. And like I said, great dealership, great offer, great stuff up there. Really appreciate the salesman I had who took care of us for the Wagoneer, and I look forward to doing more sales with them in the future. Hopefully, they remember the next time somebody brings in a really good vehicle, don't lowball them. I mean, it's just play the market, you know. I don't know whose reasoning was behind that day, but wow. Anyway, that was the story that somebody asked me. I figured I'd share it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you work at a dealership, if you think it was a real ridiculously lowball offer, if you think that they screwed up, or if you have some reasoning behind it, if you you know, if you could justify it, I want to hear your justifications down in the comment section. Let me know why you think 45 for that vehicle was a decent offer. I want to hear both sides of the coin here, okay? That's all I got. Do me a favor before you go. Click that like button. Click that little bell notification. Down here, click subscribe. Last but not least, you guys and girls all be safe. That's all I got. I'm out.